All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are now officially live for, I believe this is our fifth episode of the Staffmark podcast. So thank you guys for tuning in for another month. They usually are on the final Friday of the month, but this week I will be on PTO next week. So we decided to take it back a week. And Miss Ashley Oliver Thomas is our guest today. We are so happy to have her. Everybody in the comments, give her a big round of applause. If you are tuning in live and you're seeing us here on your screen now, be sure to say hi, shoot us a comment in the comments section, and let us know you're here. We will copy and paste this link into our Staffmark page, our actual Staffmark, and then also our LinkedIn and all of the socials so you guys can see us and check us out. Before we get into it, I will just give everybody a second to notice that we are live. And like I said, if you have any questions, drop them in the comments box and we will get with Ashley and make sure that your questions are answered in a timely manner. But like I said, my name is Haley Franklin, and most of you all know me from my Kentucky days and now my Florida days. I'm here at the Staffmark branch in Florida as the business development manager. So very excited and thrilled to be here today with the wonderful Ashley Oliver Thomas. Ashley is the director of DEI for Staffmark. So amazing. She is doing a wonderful job in that space. And I wanted to just give her the floor and introduce herself and just say hi and let us know how things are going over there in that arena.
Haley, thank you again for allowing me to be in this space. First of all, I just love talking in general. I'm a yapper, and so I'm a talk too. So
Me too.
might as well put us together and put a hot.
Yes.
So I too am currently in Kentucky. And I'm based in Lexington, Kentucky. Go Cats!
Yes.
Bated breath for tonight. My father was a strength coach for University of Kentucky men's basketball team.
That's amazing.
Athletic director. So they're in Milwaukee, and I'm just like, let's bring it home. So I need to do my pregame rituals very soon. So
I love that.
But yeah, so that's kind of my familiar background. I've been in this role at Staffmark Group. It's been 3 months, not 3 months. It's been 3 years this month. 3 months.
Yes.
But also feels like it's been 3 months. I've really, really, really enjoy our company culture. I enjoy the people I work with. I enjoy my BRG chairman. I've had like a really, to me, like an epic, speaking of sports, like a really good run.
Yes.
Like just like back to back championships. So I'm really enjoying myself. I've been in this role, like I said, for 3 years, but I think probably the most impactful piece has been the expansion of our business resource groups. So they're kind of our affinity groups on fire. So they are people who have similar commonalities and similar interests. We take them, we elevate them through different target populations, and they do the work of our business. So that is my baby, along with like DEI or equity-related policies and trainings and whatnot I oversee. But that is my 9 to 5, my 5 to 9, if you will. I do content creation. I have a platform, Yoga Mahogany, that focuses on yoga. I'm a yoga teacher, but also just wellness, particularly inclusive wellness, mental health as well. And so I love doing that. I think that your work and your life, it's not a balance anymore. It's an integration, especially for those of us who work at home or whatever. Like, how are we being intentional about how we bring ourselves to work, and how are we being intentional about how we show up outside of that? How are we taking care of ourselves? How do we off ramp? So I'm just excited about, again, I think both areas, belonging in the workplace, wellness, and other spaces. And now with this new BRG that Haley is our chairman of, I'm super excited to see how it comes in. She's a really full throttle approach in the workplace, because it's much needed, and I'm so excited about it.
Yes. We are very excited. Let me pull up the questions. I just wanted to touch on really quick with you, Ashley. So we talked a little bit about Staffmark and what your team does. What is your favorite part about your current role with Staffmark?
I think for me, my favorite part is that people I mean, I love our business resource groups. I mean, being kind of the project manager, I have 8 business resource groups. I probably should list them. So at Staffmark Group in 2022, we started with the Black Alliance. We have the Military Alliance. We have a Prisms LGBTQ plus Alliance in 2023. Started Women's Alliance, an Interfaith Alliance, and then a Hispanic Alliance. In 2024, we started an alliance that's basically more looking at fair trade opportunities, that's led through our parent company in Europe. Now in 2025, we have Miss Haley in our Wellness Alliance. That's 8. And so I am kind of the project manager, I could say, fairy godmother, if you will, for
Yes, I love that.
these. And so just trying to be kind of the battery in the back of keeping them running, especially financially. I love that, but I also love there's like a kind of a soft touch that happens. People just will throughout the company will just message me, emailing me, wanting to have questions. So I just kind of like almost very informal office hours. I love that. I love that people feel one comfortable enough to me to talk to me about
Yes,
concerns we have about belonging, but not just that, but just even questions about is there some they have an idea about some programmatic things that we can do. They have a question about something they saw in the community and like, can we do this here in Staffmark Group? I think for me that signals a couple things. One, that we have a culture that people one feel like they can trust me to bring
absolutely.
ideas and it's not going to, or even not critical, but something that we could be doing better. That's important. And then also, again, just being psychologically safe to feel like that they want to do that, that they can be part of the solution. And sometimes
Right.
we feel very distant and just do our jobs and be very granular. But when people have this space, and they're not going to pay for this, to say, hey, let me message her and see what she thinks. I try to respond pretty quickly, but then also, and then what do we do about it? For example, Haley reached out to me about this opportunity for the BRGs, and it was something that again is important to me.
Right.
We're very leader focused first, and so when someone like that brings opportunity to your door, you do not say no. And so cultivating those asks, I think, is really important. It helps build and contain that trust, particularly in the work that we're doing, especially during a time such as this.
Absolutely. I agree. I think it was cool you mentioned how you feel good when people feel safe enough to come to you and they trust you. I just recently started feeling that way with this BRG, and I love it because people feel like they may not be able to share their story out in front of 84 other people, but they feel good enough to come to me about it. And I'm like,
Exciting.
that just makes my heart feel so good. It makes me very happy. So I love that.
And I mean, like, it signifies one. I mean, you have the energy and the presence in that space that people feel comfortable, but then also people see you as someone who like can deal with the nuance of why perhaps maybe they have some sort of impairment or some sort of
Yes.
other issue, but they want to share their wins with you like that, and they feel comfortable enough, and they have a good feeling that you will celebrate them, the
It's the
way that
best.
be celebrated. So no, that is humbling and exciting and all that stuff. So I'm glad that that's happening already.
Yes, thank you. Okay, so let's jump right into it. Our next question is, let's talk about the newest BRG. I know we've dropped some hints around what it is and how it's been introduced and when will it roll out?
Sure. So our newest business resource group is our Wellness Alliance. And again, so Haley was, I think I was out on post holiday break. I need to decompress. I get to back to my inbox. I'm like, whoa, like what is this? Like a full fledged BRG just handed me my inbox. And again, with our business resource groups, I know there are a lot of models. Some companies might call it an ERG
Yes,
or an affinity group. So I'm speaking about the same thing, an ERG,
right.
an affinity group, a BRG. This is what we call it at Staffmark Group. Again, I think for some companies, maybe their lead, the director, their VP, whatever, equity or people would start them and then plug people in. I found that to be best practices really is that it's not going to work. It has to be particularly that inaugural group has to be a leader with demonstrated interest for sure
Right.
in all
Agree.
do the lift because we are doing this is not just plug and play, like this is being really a maverick, if you will, like in what we're doing, and someone who has
Absolutely.
capacity and tenacity for that. So getting those emails and then meeting with Haley, and it was very clear that she was the woman for the job. And so I think particularly we've had conversations, her charter, her e-board is filling up. And then to my, not all to my surprise, actually I was not too surprised, that she talks about starting a step challenge in March. Even though for our fiscal year, our fiscal year is not until April 1. And so I look next day, I'm in our team, and there's just a group, and there's just people coming in, and they're just signing up, and they want their logins, and Apple, and people are, who are like, how can I sponsor you for, a step calculator? Oh, it's just like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh.
It was overwhelming at first, but a good overwhelming. I was like, this is taking off. This is going to be great. So
no, like I thought that was amazing, but also just like, I've gotten very lucky. I'm 8 for 8 with amazing chairmen.
You really do have the best leaders in your BRGs. I mean, I've gotten to know them firsthand just a little here recently, and all of them are amazing and bring their own expertise to the table. So it's great.
They are. We are really lucky as a company to have that. And even not just as a company, we're really right now looking at we're really operating particularly in best practices in ABO, our parent company. So I'm talking to other countries now, and their operating companies about what we're doing at Staffmark Group. So it's not just me who sees it; it's a global impact, which is so exciting to say.
It is.
Just not even 3 years, but that to happen so quickly. But I'm not surprised. The work that we've done is spectacular, and so to be heralded that way is amazing. But the Wellness Alliance goes live on April 1. And I say that I'm like, goes live. I'm like, the step challenge is already happening, but meetings and all the procedural stuff, and we'll start, looking at metrics and whatnot then. But it's already, like we said, 86 people already are in the chat.
Yes.
We'll see what translates into who's coming to the meetings. But starting off strong, Haley has some amazing programming. It's already set up. I mean, I couldn't ask for a better, this BRG is, again, like I said, is really important to me personally. I'm not surprised that she is just like with it.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited, truly. This just like, I love that you mentioned your 9 to 5 and then your 5 to 9 and how it's integrated. It truly is, because outside of my 9 to 5, this is 100% my 5 to 9. I'm very passionate about it. And I'm sure some friends and family and followers are watching this okay, this makes sense for Haley to be in this role. So I'm very excited. Let's see. We talked about, so this is a cool question. We just have a couple more minutes, but I wanted to definitely highlight, if you could give us an example of maybe a success story that started with a DEI initiative at Staffmark, and just give us a little insight to that. And then we'll conclude.
I think we have several at this point.
Probably so many.
I'm trying to think of an all BRG. Actually, I think we've done this for 2 years in a row. I know obviously during the holiday season, things can be pretty tight, expensive, or just weather-related things. And as you know, in the past year, very random, natural disasters, things happen, especially around the holiday season. And so all of our BRGs for the past 2 years, from their budgets, have donated in some capacity towards this. It's a fund, if you will, for employees, whatever type of contingency they may have it. It's anonymous to us. It's anonymous again to only people in our HR, people who are directly intervening. But so it's a $500 donation for 7. At this point, 7. It'll be 8 this year.
That's amazing.
Or BRG. We don't know. We don't really care who it is. We don't need to know. But I know particularly during that time of year, it's important. I know, the cost of eggs aside, I mean, it's important. I think not only is it just it's good to do. It's also it's a good retention tool, of course. I mean, but that's not why we do it. The work of again making sure we're building a space where people belong, and so it's one thing to worry about. You're able to do your work And also, if the ask is an ask that's very dignified, we don't need to know the information. We want to make sure
Right.
capacity to be intentional to support our community. These are community based BRGs, and so trying to be able to be uplifted of service in the area is important. So it's done in our tourism row. I'm sure we'll probably do it every year. We have a basic earmarked. It's a small lift, of course, but that matters. It's not nothing, and I'm happy that is when it was discussed. It was no questions asked. It was like, of course. So
Yeah. I love that. Thank you for sharing that with us. And it just reminds me how there's literally a space for anybody, even if you don't want to jump into the BRG for the Health and Wellness Alliance, that's totally fine. Or if you're scared and don't want to be a member right off the bat, that's fine too. You can kind of sit in the background and watch and listen and just do your own thing. So that's totally fine. But I loved everything we talked about. Again, this BRG will go live. It's a business resource group. I try not to use the acronyms too much for those that may not know, but it is a business resource group that will go live on April 1st. It's the Health and Wellness Alliance with Staffmark Group. And if you're watching this, I will definitely keep everybody updated with how it's going, what challenges we have, and things like that. Oh, real quick shout out to our community partners that donated to the winnings of the basket for the Step Challenge. That was so very generous of them.
huge.
So huge shout out to them. We had Southern Nutrition, Southern Muscle. We had a couple others, Beverly International, Riverview Works Fitness. So it's been great of them to donate those items. And the winner of the basket will be announced on April 1st.
So soon.
I know.
They've been putting in overtime. I love it.
Yes, it's been great. So if anybody has any questions, please drop them in the comments. Ashley, thank you so much for being here and just being a voice for the BRGs and being the face, the beautiful face, I might add. You're so beautiful and sunshiny, and I love it. So
Again, I don't think about if you all have gotten the impression like the Haley is just like a go. I mean, I'm sure you all know that if you're interacting with this, go get her, real life in her community, in the workplace, like someone who even is just tenacious all around. So I'm very proud. She's a natural fit for where she is in our company. I'll take good care of her. Like she's awesome. You know, she does amazing projects in the work that I'm sure she'll be excited to share out. So definitely watch the space. Like the work she's doing is impactful. I couldn't ask for a better lead to start off this journey with us. So
I love that. Thank you so much. Stay tuned for more things to come. If you follow Higher Up Wellness, aka Michael Smoke, he's going to be one of our speakers in the coming months. And then we have a special surprise speaker that we haven't announced just yet from our parent company, RGF Staffing. So we're very, very excited about that too, and her wellness journey all the way around. Other than that, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Ashley, did you have anything else you wanted to add before we jump off?
that's it. But like I always say to people when I part ways from this, you know, I hope they have an amazing day. But I'm wishing you wellness.
Thank you so much. Everybody have a great, healthy, happy day.
Take care.
Bye.